recording.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents. This morning, we're going to continue our ongoing adventures in Middle-earth, using the One Ring system from Free League, and we're running through Ruins of the Lost Realm. Here's the book, the second edition One Ring book, and here's the Ruins of the Lost Realm. We might delve into Tales from the Lost Realms, depending on where the players go. And I got this new book too that we might explore, or at least we can now delve further into some of the Elven lore in this region. So before I start, I will introduce the players. And we got a new player today. So I will introduce that player first to put him on the spot. Just tell me who you are and who you're playing.
I'm Herobrine. I'm a rider of Rohan. I'm a captain. My horse name is Fiera. I'm here to escort this party into battle.
Nice. And next we have Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen, and I am playing Bruni and Orodreth. Bruni is a dwarf of the Blue Mountains, and Orodreth is an elf of Rivendell.
And then, last but not least, we have Amy.
Hello, I'm playing Myrtle Brandybuck, and she's the Hobbit of the Shire, and Gwennon, who is a Ranger of the Dunedain.
All right. And as I switch over screens, as we recall, we were in Londare. Does anyone want to let me know what happened last time? Especially let our new player know what happened last time. You also have two henchmen, Sornan and Brentho, so we can explain their presence as well. So who wants to tell us what happened last time?
Well, we floated down the river.
Yep.
And then we ended up parking a boat here.
Mm-hmm.
We disembarked, and there was a creepy old guy that I'm pretty certain works for the Black Numenorians. And he didn't want to take a bath, so Gwennon was done with him. And we went up to the main fort because we were looking for Queen Nimue. So we came in to her fort here. We stabled our horses over here, and Sorman, who used to be a bad guy, but now he's part of the party. He watches our horses and gets us information, is staying in the stable with the horses. We came into the main hall where we met up with Queen Nebu, and I don't remember her captain's name, but he was protecting her. And upon entering, we met a new hobbit of the Shire who's very enamored with talking to Myrtle, but she was focusing on talking to the queen to get information about the Black Numenorians.
Haldane was the name of this guy here.
Haldane.
Yeah.
There he is.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out that she has called the greatest warriors from around to become the knights of her area. And we found out... I'm sorry?
That's Queen Nimue.
Mm-hmm. She's very young.
Yep.
She battled a sea serpent. So Gwennon told her about the vision she had when she touched the seeing stone. She seemed not very put back by it, but we had found out through conversations and rumors that Gandalf has been there a few times and that he visited the towers across the river. And that's kind of where we ended, because Gwennon wants to go to the towers because she wants to go up and be able to look out to where Numenor used to be, but also see if Gandalf was up there looking out of those towers, it means he was up there for a very specific reason, and she wants to find out what it was. I'm pretty certain I missed some other things, but that's the long and short of it. Oh, right. This is an old Numenorian fort, because we saw the tiles underneath the thrashing on the floor.
Yeah, Londare is an old Numenorian locale. Anything else to add, Arlen?
I don't think so. Not off the top of my head. Oh, I guess we had some. There was some prophesying being done, and the seer who saw Bruni on the coast of an island, and we found out a little about that.
Right. Yeah, that's right. There's some prophet there who said that he went up to that tower. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this guy named Allegan, and then a sailor said that he had seen that island
Mm-hmm.
as well. So that is another possibility. All right. And I guess he's going to winter. I guess before the storms come, he's probably going to go back down the coast. But he'll say if you want to go up the coast to this island, he'll be back in the spring. Okay, so I think we're going to probably. Are you guys going to winter here in Londaire?
I'm assuming so.
All right, so then we'll go ahead and do our Yule phase update.
I mean, the only thing that Gwennon would want to do is go back up the river to see if her letter was answered by the Rangers or not.
Well, we'll have to see if that's a possibility.
Mhm.
Because during your fellowship, you'll,
Can travel. I know.
yeah, you don't really. All right, so during Yule phase, I think everyone. Well, the first thing I guess is that everyone gets a number of skill points equal to their wits rating. Or is that at the end? Maybe that's at the end. If we go in order. So yeah, the duration. Well, it's going to be during the winter. And then you're spending it in Londaire. And you can choose undertakings. Is that right? Next. Why am I having problems with this?
So we get skill points equal to our wits.
Yeah. Your wits rating. All right, and then you can perform updates like any experience points, any new valor or wisdom. I think Amy was going to do some stuff. I don't know. I'll ask Arlen what he wants to do or what he's done as well. We kind of updated Herobrand to match the skill level and experience of the other player heroes. Okay. So anything? I know Amy, you wanted to highlight something you were going to do.
Right. I'm just updating Myrtle. Okay, so Gwennon used her points, her adventure points, to get Foresight of the Kindred, which allows her to re-roll both player rolls and or lore master rolls. And since she has a wisdom of three times in a session, I believe.
Anything cool for Bruni or Orodreth? Or you haven't?
I think it's just gonna be like skills, basically. I think. Oh, stop. No. Because I don't think either of them have enough adventuring points to do anything too interesting for the other stuff. But Bruni can get an upgrade on his Persuade from 2 to 3, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Orodreth, I'm trying to decide. I think Orodreth will get an update on his healing from 2 to 3.
Okay.
Since that seems useful.
Then Myrtle, is she going to do anything interesting?
I was looking at stuff. She's got 10 adventure points and 20 skill points. So she was thinking about possibly her song going from 2 to 3
Yeah, that's 12 points.
12 points, so that would leave her with 8. Okay, then that's what she does.
Okay. All right. And then during the fellowship phase, all player heroes automatically recover a number of hope points equal to their heart score. And you recover all of your hope at Yule, so you cover all your hope.
All hope at Yule.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 to 3 you said is 12.
Yeah, 2 to 3 is 12.
Okay. Then I'm going to also move up awe for Gwennon.
Yep. And what did we do in the last phase?
We also lose some shadow.
Yeah.
I'd like to lose some shadow, that's for certain.
Yeah. So did your actions in the did you this last phase you guys took out the werewolf, right? You took out the werewolf. You went to Tharbad.
Took out an
and
orc.
Then you came down to Laundare. Okay.
So how many shadows do we lose?
I think you're going to lose 3 shadow because that was you had gained the attention of the Dark Lord. That's why I sent the werewolf.
So 3.
Yeah. So that's good. So Brenthil can lose 3. And Sornan, I guess he recovers from his malaise.
They both should be back off of their...
Well, Brenthil still has a shadow over him, but you know.
Right, but you still have that little thing on their character sheet that he's afeared. He shouldn't be afeared now.
Oh, distracted?
Yeah.
I think he's still distracted.
Well, he's still distracted, but his shadow is supposed to go back to 0 once he has his breakdown.
Oh, okay, so he's had his breakdown already. Okay.
Yeah, so he had his breakdown back when we were in the hills, right? In the the barrows. So his shadow shouldn't be high anymore, but he still has the trait that interferes with him is the balance, basically.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on there. So I remember he's distracted.
Yeah.
What
and Sordan didn't have.
What can Myrtle do with 10 adventure points?
I don't think.
So 10 points is enough. 8 points is what it costs to raise something from 1 to 2. So if you have a combat skill to raise, I don't think you have, because your
she's a hobbit.
Wisdom and valor are too high.
Yeah, you're
to use that. So
you could save it. So then after today's session, you'll have 12, and you can raise a virtue or a valor or wisdom, right?
Okay. She'll do that then.
Unless you want to increase your, like you said, your combat skills.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
She's done that a lot lately.
Gwennon has a ton of skill points.
Yeah, I know. I haven't done anything with her. Well, no, I spent them. She has 6 now. I just spent it. I moved from 2 to 3.
Okay. Nice. Okay. All right, so now we do undertakings.
Okay.
And you can select a number of activities based on whether fellowship phase is ordinary or if it's a Yule. So I think during Yule, you get 1.
For Yule, everybody gets 1.
Yeah, for Yule, everyone gets 1.
Gets 1 what?
Undertaking.
And that is?
So like, do the, ponder storied maps, recount a story. You can ponder storied maps, raise an heir, recount a story, strengthen your fellowship, study magical items, write a song. I think that's it. Right.
And each character gets this, right?
Yeah, each character can do this. Yeah.
Okay, so Myrtle's gonna.
Gather rumors. Heal scars. You could heal scars during Yule. Meet your patron. You can try to meet Gandalf.
Well, that's what Myrtle wants. Actually, that's what Gwenin wants. Myrtle wants to write a song.
Okay. 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 Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
then
she wants
wait,
to.
hold on. Before we let me guess get what everyone else wants to do, and then we'll go back around. All right. So Fixius, what you wanted to work on your horse, right? Improve the quality of your horse.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's easy. And then Bruni and Ordreth, what undertakings would you like to have?
I think both of them have one shadow scars. I think they're both gonna heal scars.
Okay. Well, that's easy.
So that we're back down to fresh.
Okay, well, probably the easiest one to do is Fixius's, because it's going to be a craft skill, and you just need to get one success, because your horse's quality is vigor is 1 right now. So you roll craft skill. Do you have any distinctive features that could help with your horse training? We look.
He has reckless. That's more of a fighting skill.
Keen-eyed would be like for seeing things. Curious. I don't know. Maybe not. You have a 3, so click on the dice next to craft.
Mm-hmm. And bonus dice.
Unless you can think of how any of those would apply, those distinctive features would apply.
To what? Working on
To
his horse?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't reckless apply? Because he's trying to train his horse up to be a stronger war horse.
I don't know if that's reckless. I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, we can make a case for any of the others.
Oh no.
Oh no. Why is it weary failure? Something's wrong.
He's not weary. He's not weary.
Shouldn't be weary.
Did you just kill my horse?
No.
No. Why are you weary? Oh, why did these things change?
What?
Someone messed with this character sheet because the endurance, hope, and everything's messed up. There.
We didn't do anything but learn the sheet this morning, Carl.
Well, it shouldn't.
I didn't even touch it.
We didn't touch those.
I don't even know what.
I don't know why it reset things, and then your hope is 13. Right. So it really would be a 8. And you roll. Well, it's still a failure, not a weary failure. All right. Okay. Well, you have to try next fellowship phase to work on your horse, because it's still a failure. Let's see. He's pretty far away.
He's rolling weary. Doesn't that take something?
It doesn't. Off? Well, look, it's a 6, a 1, and a 1. So that's
on my end. I see a D12 rolling an 11, and then a 6, 1, and 1. Okay.
Yeah, but the I is equals a 1, so then it's going to be 9 total. So that's still a failure. He's like 6 away. So unless he spends a hope and rolls a 6, right?
That's not going to be enough.
Yep. All right. Okay. I guess, how do we do the scars thing?
So you spend 5 adventuring points, so it's kind of expensive, and just lose the scar and basically narrate out, a lot of it is about, the description is about how characters from different cultures resort to different methods to get rid of their scars. Dwarves often turn to the forge to burn out their frustration, smiting the red iron on the anvil. Hobbits dedicate themselves to a beloved activity like gardening or painting, and elves and men generally create, play or recite poems and songs.
All right. So what does Bruni do?
Well, Bruni definitely has his background in craft, and so he probably figures out how to either work at a forge, or he also has a background in stoneworking, so maybe he'll help with repairing some of the stone craft of the buildings around here, since the hall itself, right, is
Yeah.
and
And
kind of older and in
Mhm.
disrepair a little bit, it seems like.
Yeah, there's like an old shrine or something here, and
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, the old Numenorian buildings
Mhm.
left behind.
And Orodreth.
I think Orodreth will, he's spending a lot of time. He's doing the classic elf thing where he kind of walks out into the wilderness and he wanders around reciting various old elven ballads and lays and all that sort of stuff, kind of wandering through the woods around town, and remembering all of these elven achievements of previous centuries.
So I don't know. So I guess Orodreth, even as you heal, you realize that while you've met these new companions, and this one Herobrand seems eager to join you, and add, as he's a follower of Quinn Nimue, but excited maybe that you guys work for Gandalf, wants to join your company. It seems to be a bit, I don't know. There's a concern
Mm-hmm.
as Orodreth wanders around. He feels it in the wind. Maybe the wind, the storms out of Caradhras are particularly harsh this winter.
Mm-hmm.
As he walks on the surface of the snow. So you got a bad feeling. So like what happens is like this for Fixius to know. So this is the Eye of Mordor, and it accumulates, and when it hits the maximum, something's going to happen. You've drawn the attention of the of the eye again, and already. So it might be a difficult spring. We will see. All right, Myrtle was going to do a song. I guess I'm saving
Yes.
the Gandalf thing for last. That's more interaction.
Well, last time she made a song of champions, and that one, what did we say? I have to look it up again. What the Song of Champions does? It is. Is that the one that ignores weariness?
Yeah, ignores weariness.
But she would
That's a good one.
Yeah, we would. She'd like to make one that either does awe or promotes healing or something like that we can use.
Well, it's like where you want to use it, whether in journeying or counseling.
I was thinking more like setting up to go into battle. Neither of those, really.
Yeah, well, you have this. You still have the Song of Victory, right? You guys haven't used it, have you?
Song of Champions. She only has one song, the Song of Champions. That's the one that allows us to ignore weariness.
Yeah, in a battle.
In a battle. But she wants to kind of inspire or something along that line, or have a song that might encourage healing, or I'm just trying
if I can make a suggestion.
Okay.
A song of councils. A song for councils, a song of it's called lay, but an appropriate narrative poem, particularly appropriate to narrate heroic deeds and meant to recite and be sung at gatherings. Because if you run into the fisher folk, you might not necessarily want to fight them. You might want to parley with them if you're going up the coast.
That's
a suggestion.
Song of what?
Song of Council. Just put Song of Councils, because Song of Lay sounds weird.
But it's not going to be a council to see them. It's just a meeting. Just
And
a
it might be.
group
It
of
might end up
people.
being. It might end up being a council, but then you can sing a song during the council.
And it gets what?
Yeah, and then it also prevents if you guys are weary from the
It gets
journey or
what?
whatever.
It gets what? If I'm singing this song at council, what do I get for it?
You are. You succeed in a wait.
All of the songs do the same thing. They
Yeah,
allow
you make
you
a
to
song roll.
ignore
Yeah, I was going to
the
read it.
effects of being weary.
Yep. So you make a song roll, and then
So
you
then
succeed in the roll.
I have 2 songs of weariness.
Well, that's all the songs do is they prevent. They basically mitigate
Then
weariness.
it's a waste for her to make another song. I already have one that ignores weariness, so I could sing that song during the council. So if it's the same
No, you
thing,
can't. No, it's different. One is for combat, to rouse you in combat, and then this one would be to inspire you in councils.
but
But they
all
do the
I'm
same
doing is ignoring weakness or weariness. But
Right.
we're not weary in a council.
Sometimes you could be.
We have yet to be.
Okay, well then do something else.
That's what I'm saying. It's to me, it feels like a waste. So
Okay.
what else can she do?
It's a bunch of stuff.
Because we have, since I've made that song, used it once.
Okay.
So that's I already feel like that one was wasted. So
Right. So you can again. I will go over what you can do.
uh-huh.
Gather rumors. Heal scars. Meet your patron, but Gwennon's doing that.
Gwennon's doing that.
Ponder storied and figured maps. Raise an heir, but I don't think anyone has the treasure to do that. Maybe you do. Recount a story, and that allows you to replace a distinctive feature with a new trait or quality that's narrated in the episode. Strengthen fellowship, so you can add to your fellowship score. You get +1 extra fellowship.
Well, are we gonna
study magical items? Write a song.
Don't we go up in fellowship already because we're adding another player?
Yeah, but then your fellowship would become 9, right?
Right, but don't we?
Oh no, you. I think you did that undertaking last time to make it 8. So yeah, I guess it would be
right because she took a feat. She added Three's Company to add 1 to our fellowship.
Yeah.
So it goes up
1,
to 9
2,
now.
3, 4. Yeah. So if you do this undertaking, it'll be 9.
But only for one thing, or does it stay that way?
For 1 phase, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do that?
No, I think she wants to do rumors.
Rumors, okay. Okay, cool. Well, when we get to that, well, I guess we do now. Rumors.
Right, because that seems like the only thing that's actually gonna help the party.
Man, I cannot freaking.
Fine, never mind. We'll just do your song of council. It just, to me, it's a waste to have rumors. 2 songs that do exactly the same thing. Because I could sing my song of champions during a council and eliminate weariness too. So
no, that won't work. But okay.
What do you think, Arlen?
Just to be clear, the way that the songs work is that the songs all have a specific type of activity that they're associated with, and when you sing them, you ignore all of the player characters can ignore weariness in that type of activity. So having multiple songs for different things, that they have the same effect, but they're used in different circumstances.
Right.
If that makes sense.
But why
But-
would you be weary during council?
If you were at the end of a long journey and so had built up a lot of fatigue, or if you just came from a fight.
Okay, fine. We'll do your song at council, Carl.
You don't have to. You can do the rumors. I'm ready for the rumors.
I'm just trying to get through this council. All right, let's go.
All right, so you make a song. I don't think you have to roll anything. You just have a song for councils now. Okay, I have the rumor ready, but all right. So then, I guess you meet Gandalf. He shows up during the winter.
Well, doesn't Fixius want to do something? He did his horses,
did.
right? Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't able to do the horses.
All right.
All right.
Waiting on you.
You are. I thought you were going to interact with Gandalf.
You said I'm meeting Gandalf, and I said yes. She wants to meet him in the towers over here.
Okay.
So, what do I do
All right.
for that?
Well, you kind of wait at you go across the water and wait at the towers.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming Myrtle is tagging along because
Sure.
anyone can tag along. Right?
Ugh, sorry about that. All right, so yeah, you meet him. So he says, "Oh, hello. How are you?" He kind of probably appears on a horse. This is kind of wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming here to examine these towers again. They might be important, and also to keep tabs or check in with the Queen of Londar, see how things are going. But it appears that you are here.
We are. We have much to speak about.
I see.
I sent word to the Rangers that their help is needed. Lilith is I'm blanking on the name of the town.
Which one?
Where Lilith is.
Oh, where Gwylith is? Oh, Tharbad.
Tharbad. And there are agents of the Black Numenorians already there that need to be dealt with.
Yes, I hear tales of black ships in the
Yes.
waters.
But Lady Stark and her husband, they have a son who trades with them quite often, is under their tutelage, shall we say. Most disconcerting. I've asked Lilith to keep an eye on them. We also have learned that the Black Numenorian ships, when I held on to the stone, I looked at it and
Yes, tell me about this. I am also. That is, I've heard that
well, I saw a black ship sailing into the ports, and it grabbed a child of the fisherman. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I even heard that Edris, who've been trying for years to recite the stone, was not able to turn it from the west, but seemingly you have been able to.
Yes. I had the blessing. I saw people sailing on a ship, some good, but turned bad. They chased the child that I saw, and it was a group of Black Numenorians and a sorcerer that came out of the Misty Mountains. There were orcs and men. They were looking for something. Then I saw a large battle in a town with a fort that was on fire, and I saw a beast rise out from the river, and I realized it was Londar that I saw it. And then I saw that same child in chains guiding that ship down the river towards a fortress. And then I saw the remains of Carndoon.
Carndoon.
Mm-hmm. Then after that, I saw the queen slaying a dragon and calling her knights. And I saw her save the town from a serpent.
Well, that has happened.
That has happened, I'm sure, with your help, Gandalf. As no queen rides
He
in
lights
on
his pipe.
Uh-huh.
He lights his pipe. Maybe. Perhaps it was her own martial prowess that she did not know she had.
Or a spell from a gray wizard. Either way.
I do not cast spells like some sorcerer.
Anyways. Then we arrived here, and I was told that you've been here several times to look in these towers, and I know they look forth to where Numenor once was, my family's home. I thought you could tell me what you were looking at and how to spot these black ships, as I'm pretty certain there's one of his other agents at the coast, at the base of the town.
Well, I would say just follow your prophecies. Perhaps you can save this child yet if you travel through the dangerous lands of the fisherfolk.
Which I
would talk with you. I guess I would talk with your other companions and see what they have to add as well, and I will ponder this. Is there anything else that you have encountered that I should know about?
Can you tell us more about the mystery of the swan?
Oh, I'm sure that your elven companion would know just as much as I would. It is from a time from before when I arrived. I mean, for when I was born, he says. He corrects himself.
Seeing as you were not born but made, I am sure you have as much information. Can we rouse the lady? Still etched in stone that Celebrimbor supposedly was in love with? Because he slept her until he was to awaken her later, but then has gone on to the fields.
I'm sure the secrets would be best studied in Imaldris. That has not been my focus.
I am sure.
Or perhaps the secrets lie deeper. Celebrimbor was worked at what they call it now, Moria.
Yes, the pits of Moria. He created that fine ring on your finger as well.
What ring on my finger? I have nothing.
Oh, Gandalf. If there's one thing you can't do is lie to me. You're not good at it. Plus, I believe that ring brings out the truth in you. Anyways, Myrtle is here and wants to see you most urgently. But
well, perhaps I will come and visit the court of the Queen and talk to your other companions.
I think that would be good. But I did send a note to Aragorn, except I believe it's his mother that is in his steed right now, to please send help. I fear that town, it's going to be riddled with defeat from within and from without. We caught an orc there, and we've since dispatched it, but orcs out of the caves down this far is concerning. Troll. It's concerning.
Yeah, you guys have not fought any orcs yet.
No. I don't think so.
Nope. Okay. All right, well, Gandalf comes to town, or to the court, and everyone's like, oh, Gandalf. You know, as he walks in, he bows to Queen Nimue, make sure he talks to everyone. So if you have anything of import to ask or say to Gandalf, this could include Herobrand as well.
Myrtle wants to show him her blade.
Oh, impressive.
And the dagger that she fingered off of the ones that were in London.
You mean in Tharbad?
Tharbad.
Yeah. Well, he said that. Well, this is a new. This is a blade made in the south. He says, Harad,
Oh, Gandalf.
maybe Umbar. The other blade, the Elven blade, is fascinating. Used to finish off orcs, as it says right here. Points to the runes.
Yes.
Finishes off orcs. All right.
But you
So
have to meet our new friend now.
Well, he wants to talk to the others. What is? Let's go to Oradreth first, maybe. Kind of bows, speaks with you in Elvish.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe wanders with you around your track there. How goes the fellowship?
It's a great deal of evil out here in the world. It's not like back home. We ran into a hound of the enemy.
Yes, seems that you have garnered attention. That is why I came at Gwennon's summons as I visited the Ranger Lodge earlier, just to touch base. So, any important news then, Oradreth?
Clearly, their attention is on Tharbad. Less so here, but I'm sure it will spread. You already talked to Gwennon about the Palantir.
Yes. Well, Laundare would be in the way if they mean to go to Tharbad, so Laundare would be the first stop.
Did she tell you that Saruman had sent a woman to attempt to look into the Palantir as well?
He raises an eyebrow. Saruman.
He also said that he was an enemy.
Who said that he was an enemy?
Willith said that Saruman saw Gandalf as an enemy.
Well, that is... Does Oradreth communicate that?
Enemy or rival, basically. Myrtle would have said it to him. And so would have Gwennon.
Well, I would not consider the leader of the White Council an enemy. Rival. Well, we've always been rivals. He is not... He does not like a direct approach. He likes to watch and wait, but that is the nature of Saruman, is to watch and wait. So then when he strikes, it is decisive. But I prefer to take the offensive. So, Bruni, do you want to, as you talk with Gandalf, anything? But I will note this, that Saruman is interested in these things.
He was there to take the Seeing Stone. That's what Gwennon would have told him.
So this is curious. This is curious, though. That means that he has not...
And Gwennon would tell him that hobbits being hobbits, Myrtle took her book and read it and then returned it to her, and there were all the notes in there stating that Saruman was not up to good.
Well, as you might recall, a Palantir was supposed to be in Orthanc, so either he has not found it, or he has found it and has yet to tap it.
Shall we say we stopped him from being able to see them?
Well, he must have been researching, or sending his factor to research.
He sent Willith to research, but she was never allowed to look in the library nor the stone. And when we got there, we were allowed access, but only because we requested very firmly to go up there. And then Willith was kidnapped by bandits near there, and we rescued her. Well, Myrtle made a friend of her as best as she could, and she has just left recently to head back to her master.
I see.
I fear he has corrupted her. She could be good, but I think she was corrupted. As I fear that he is trying to corrupt you as well.
He kind of laughs at that. Well, I will have to visit Saruman at some point and see what is going on. So he kind of helps Bruni. He kind of helps Bruni with his repair work. So does Bruni have anything to communicate to Gandalf?
I don't think so. I think the only thing that he's kind of thinking about the seer and the island stuff, but he doesn't really want to ask Gandalf about it yet.
Okay.
Myrtle would tell Bernie that she told Gandalf about the Swan people that you told us about.
The Swan people.
Well, that's what Myrtle would have said. Remember, there's a swan was in the river.
Oh, giant swans in the Swan Fleet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is much like Londare is the only beacon in this area. This area is dangerous and dark, and truth be told, I do not like staying here long. But I must touch base with Quinn Nimue here and again. There are people, and he points out, there are people who do not like to see her on the throne. This guy here, this merchant. I don't know what his designs are. His name is Johann Fleet. He is someone to be watched if you come to Londare back and forth.
Would Gwennon recognize him as the guy that she was talking to?
No, he wasn't. It's someone totally different. He's someone who's in the court all the time, honestly.
Okay.
He kind of hangs out in the court. Kind of watching and observing. No one really, Queen Nimue, they're not, she has all these people, around her, so they don't really countermand her orders, but he's just kind of watching and looking, and there's probably some intrigues there if you wish to try to pursue them or understand them at some point, but that's up to you guys. The Ranger Haven, that's what I meant. Okay.
I think Myrtle would take Gandalf by the hand and tell him that he has to meet their new friend. We just met him.
Mm-hmm. So he's introduced to Herobrand because you have ridden far, Rohirrim.
Mr. Enderby, Milan. Strange talk is being heard around my land. Whispers are being heard out of Fangorn.
Interesting. Well, we have one of my companions that I have traveled with is there. Rest assured, he is watching as well. He is aiding.
The king grows ill.
Already?
Yes.
Well, I will have to look in on him after I talk with Saruman. But, well, this is a very interesting fellowship. It's got duty and wisdom, cunning, strength. You will not find a better company that I can think of. That is why I watch over them. I've always kept an eye on that Hobbit there. She did steal my coin purse one time.
I gave it back. Maybe
All right.
minus a coin or two.
All right. So Gandalf says, he tells you, well, he doesn't really give you direction. He's just kind of suggesting you follow the clues that you have, unless you have any direct questions for him. I don't know if you have any direct questions for him.
Well, Myrtle wants to tell him about when she ate something she wasn't supposed to, and she fell asleep, and she saw the battle, and it was in the towers, and she went and recovered the sword, and then she wants to show him her little... She says sword, it's just a dagger.
Well, hobbits eat a lot. Be careful what you eat.
I know. Gwennon always yells at me. She's not very nice.
Oh, what Bruni would want to ask about, I'll do after Myrtle's thing.
No, Myrtle's just jabbering. Go ahead, interrupt.
Okay. So after all the discussion, Bruni will mention that let me find the name. Gurnow's and Lady Stock's son, whose name is Thurnow, wants to go on an expedition. Yeah. Wants to go on an expedition to Moria. And is going to ask about, because I guess he would probably know that Balin has sent out an expedition to try to reclaim Moria.
I don't think that's happened yet.
Oh, well then. We'll ask about I guess then Bruni will ask about if what Gandalf knows about expeditions to Moria to try to figure out what's going on.
He says, well, I know there has been a lot of talk, and I know some of those in Erebor grow restless. Particularly, as you may know, Balin in particular travels back and forth between the Blue Mountains and Erebor quite often. He has discussed this expedition. There are other of your kinsfolk trying to look for an entrance. The East Gate is heavily guarded, as you might know, by orcs. The orcs of the Misty Mountains, and the legacy of what is that guy's name? The legacy, the one that was killed.
Oh, Bolg and Azog.
Yeah, the legacy of Azog. Bolg was just but one of his sons, but as you know, these orcs, they are prolific. He has many children, and they rule the mountain. But it would be worth looking at for not just reasons to find your heritage, Bruni, or your kinsfolk's heritage. But this is curious. I will have to study this, perhaps in Orthanc or other locations. I might have to peruse those libraries to learn more about this lover of Celebrimbor. Maybe I'll have to go to, I don't know, you've given me so many directions, and I can only go in one direction and be only at one place at one time. Perhaps I will visit Rivendell first.
Gwennon's gonna ask, can I implore you to go up the river first?
I've come from the Ranger Havens. What is it that you wish? I will return there.
Could you please speak to Lady Stock? I feel as though when I showed her my sword and when we spoke with her last, we have instilled the strength of the Númenóreans back into her. Can you please encourage her to stand up and hold that town tightly?
Because he kind of laughs and goes, I am not the hero in this tale. You are, Gwennon.
I don't see.
I am not welcome in Tharbad, and I do not wish to derail. I wouldn't say derail because there's no trains. I would not wish to ruin any progress that you have made. That is your task, Gwennon.
I just fear that that troll would be more than what they could have taken out. Although we were able to distract him with the light, and Bruni and Ordrith did a wonderful job with that. And
He says trolls have been coming down from the mountains for years.
Yes,
since the time of your great uncle and his expedition. Looks at Myrtle.
She's just going to say, I had nothing to do with that. But, I mean, Gwennon just wants to make sure that they're protected. I would think he would at least ask. At least instill some courage into Gwennon. Is that not Gwennon? What was her name? Gwyleth?
Yeah.
As she feels as though she is alone and ready to despair.
Well, you are there for her, are you not?
I am attempting to, but we have a lot. We have to find the Black Numenorians. We have to stop the ships. I asked her to send a letter for reinforcements for her, but I do not know if Aragon or his mother have received the letter and answered it as yet.
Well, his name's not Aragon right now, right? It's is it Aristil? No. What's his name right now?
Ryder.
She would know. She would know him by that name. They were in Rivendell at the same time. She would know him by that name. She knows who he is.
And his mom would already be dead.
No, his mom's not dead.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's 2966, third age. So he is. Yeah, because she says, Strider has been sent to Rohan, but I will get word to his mother, Gilrain.
Maybe if she hears it from multiple people, she will listen. I hope she listens to it. And before Myrtle lets him leave, she wants to tell him that she also got to look into the stone.
And what did you see, Myrtle Brandybuck? Did you eat the stone?
No.
Bite into it like an apple?
No. It knocked me down, but I saw a great fierce eye looking at me and a great big white hand.
Well,
I don't know what that means. And Gwennon told me that I should pay it no never. So I shouldn't listen to it. But I don't know what it means. What does it mean?
It means that you shouldn't look in things that you are not ready for. It means that you should stave your curiosity, Hobbit.
But you told me that I was a wise Hobbit. And that I should not steal for bad. So I only steal for good now. I give it back when Gwen tells me to.
He asked for that blade, though. The Numenorian.
She'll give it to him.
He wants to study it. Because, well, perhaps we will meet in a year or two, and we will see what you are about.
She's going to give him a little bit of weed.
The pipeweed?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
She brought a huge amount of it with her.
Okay.
She brought less apples this time so she could bring more pipeweed.
Long bottom leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Okay, well, let's, I think that'll be the end of the Yule phase and the fellowship phase. So let's get on to some adventuring phase, but we'll take a 5-minute break before we do that.
Well, before you do that, what did we see at the top of the towers when Gwennon went up there with Gandalf?
A lot of white snow and storms and the river and endless marshy forest and swamp to the southwest.
No black ships?
No black ships.
Okay.
All
right.
We'll be back soon.
So, break?
Yeah, break.
Yes. I'm trying to pause it. Hold on. Okay. Unpaused.
All right, so we are back, and we are back on the map of Ariador, and I guess this is now the spring of 2966. And where do we want to travel? How do we want to travel? What's the plan?
Well, Gwenin would like to check out the coast, like along in this area. She's adamant that she wants to look for these black ships, but since she didn't see them in the distance, makes her think that they might be here, or even already starting up the river towards where we once were, in this direction.
Yeah, they'd be hard pressed to go up the what is this one? What river is that? The Bywater?
I don't know.
I mean, it's probably only navigable up to here, really. But you can go all the way up to Tharbad. Anyway, okay. So you're gonna march along the coast. Is that like this type of thing?
I'm just saying that's what Gwenin would suggest. Myrtle likes boat travel, so she thinks we should return the boat we borrowed and head back up. But that's just two of the party members. The rest of you, there's Bernie Oradreth, and she's going to call him Harry.
Harabrand. Yeah. Arlen, what do you guys suggest?
Was there something specific that Queen Nimue wanted us to help with? I don't remember if we got anything from her, but it seems like that was sort of our idea, was to come down here and see what we could figure out about the fisher folk around this area, and maybe also do things to help out with Londaire.
Yes. Well, one of her people is an exile from the fisher folk.
Mm-hmm.
One of her knights, and has this woman named Londaire, not good word thing.
I mean, Gandalf basically told Gwenin to look along here to get information. Whether or not she shared a lot of that, I don't know.
Yeah, Queen's Hall. That's where the information is. Okay. Who's that? Oh, that's okay. Right. So that one person, Enfys the fisher, she quarreled with her kinsfolk and was exiled to the wilderness, and she wandered, and then Queen Nimue took pity on her and gave her shelter. So she's sworn eternal loyalty to the town. She's a talented hunter and swimmer. She's actually, she knows about, she has the tribe she hails from is shunned even by other fisher folk because they worship dark powers in the ocean depths. She says there's this dark place in the heart of the I guess these are these are coastal swamp forests. There's a dark place there. And well, Quinn Nemi says, well, so is it worth trying to so I guess the question is it worth trying to recruit these fisher folk or what? I guess the decision if it's worth exploring, though.
Gwenin would say yes, it's worth it. That's what she would say.
Yeah, so Enfys will guide you at least part of the way if you want.
That's if the rest of the group wants to do that.
So that's what she wouldn't mind you guys doing.
Arlen, Fixius, you guys want to do that?
Yeah, it seems like that's a good thing for us to help out with.
That's fine.
Okay. Then we shall mount our steeds and go, I guess.
Okay, let me get a good.
Is the Hobbit riding with someone, or is she got her own
Most
horse?
everyone kind of walks.
We
I mean, you can.
we have horses, but um, they mostly carry stuff. But the Hobbit has a pony named Sage.
How is it supposed to keep up with men horses for men?
Because you go. Well, you
They
guys are going to leave them behind. So
This
you're going to ride on ahead without the fellowship. Okay.
mm-mm. You can take them. Just go. You would probably end up scouting and coming back to us, though.
well, and most of our mounts, yeah, are not ride, but pack animal basically. So we're moving at the speed of people walking.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's fly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, so what? So like with the way we do the travel is like someone make a travel roll, and then we see how that what that is, and then we kind of move through these dark lands. These are all like dark lands, by the way, which is interesting. Yep.
Well, I think Bruni usually does our travel roll. Fixie is. Do you have travel as a skill on your character sheet?
I have one dot.
Okay, I think Bruni still has the most then.
Yeah. All right, ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool,
Let's do
cool.
it. You get it. Okay. I was going to give you a bonus dice because the Enfys is helping you, but you got a defeat success. So you must roll another d6, see if it's a great success, right? From the help. No. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yep. So that means you guys move.
Gandalf is still with us.
Yes, he is.
At least in spirit on the dice.
I get confused with this stuff. I was trying to do something else. So then you move what, like 60 miles, is that right? Or
Yeah, 60 on a success, 40 on a
8?
failure.
Okay. So
And then 20 more per level of success.
right. So
And I forgot switch. It's
I have pressed that.
no snapping. Yeah, so
Shut out the dice.
it's about right. Yeah, about right there. Okay.
yeah.
All right. And then I roll my d6 to see who needs to roll for stuff. So 5 is going to be, I think, I should be on this adventuring phase stuff. So I think 5 is the last one.
What do you mean?
So journey, it's going to be
5 is the hunter.
hunter, whoever's the hunter in your group.
Oh, Gwennon.
All right. So wait, before you roll,
Mm-hmm.
because you're in a. So Darklands doesn't affect the roll, right? It just affects what I roll for the event, right? Is that
Yeah, Darkland is a disadvantage basically on the event table.
okay? So I roll 2 times on the event. Yeah.
So
And let me check what the rules are for having, since we now have 5 people. More than one player hero may be assigned the same role, but it doesn't say anything about how you resolve that.
Yeah, I guess someone can help, right? They spend hope.
Would her shadow lore help her rolling hunting?
Yeah, I'll give you a bonus dice. But wait. Oh, and I take the best one, right?
It's disadvantage to us, so the best one for you.
Okay.
Yeah, the lower of two results.
Okay.
You still want me to wait?
Yeah, wait, please.
Yeah, I guess the way to do it is just have somebody else help because it says a skill roll made by a player hero among those covering the role that was singled. So there's not. I was going to say there's
It's not
could
like a
be something.
mutual. Yeah, so if anyone
Yeah,
wants to
it's
help
not.
by spending hope, but you don't have to. But you do get a bonus dice, Amy.
Yes. For the shadow lore, and then also for my hunting knife. Because
Oh, so you get 2 bonus dice.
already, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
She's
Oh,
she's good.
wow. That's a really good roll. So no. So I actually rolled a terrible misfortune. If the roll fails, the target is wounded, and you would get 3 fatigue points. But so I guess that would mean so narratively.
So Myrtle's taking 3 fatigue because Gwennon does not take fatigue.
No, but you got an extraordinary success. You got 3 sixes, so each success. So you got. I mean, you weather through it. So maybe like a brutal rainstorm kind of hits you guys, but you're able to withstand it. And Gwennon is able to kind of find high ground, less swampy areas, so you don't get flooded out. And no one. I mean, the 3 successes. The way we've been running it is each 6 removes a fatigue point. So you guys do really well despite the horrible, terrible misfortune. So, okay. Next phase.
Travel roll with 1 bonus die.
Nice.
Nice.
So that's 80 miles. So are you going like just hugging the coast? Is that the idea?
I mean, I think we'd go since we have a guide. We'd just go the most direct route, but we don't know precisely where. Uh, right, we don't know where. We know they're sort of along the coast. Do we think they're like up? I don't remember in like this peninsula. I guess it depends because if we know that they're around here, then we'd go along the coast. But if not, we could just cut overland and save some time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she tells you that the heart of the darkness is like on this peninsula,
Yeah.
but I think Amy's character wanted to check the coast to see if they spotted the black ship, right? But
Uh,
you can cut across if you wanted to.
I guess it seems like we ought to cut across also because if all of this stuff is kind of like swampy, it's
Yeah,
going to be a lot harder to move through than to just go across
yeah,
and cut off this little.
yeah. So you guys can move to here.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just go across and not worry about going. We can go along the coast on the way back if we haven't sighted the ship.
Yeah. Okay.
But also without, I mean, it's going to be hard to sight the ship from swampy, foresty type terrain, right? Because we have to be basically right at the edge
Right.
all
Yeah.
the way along. We'd need, I don't know, if maybe there's like I guess once we find people, we can ask them what they do to keep track of people around them. If there's, like a watchtower hill, kind of like Weathertop almost
Right.
around that we could
Mhm.
use.
Fine.
But yeah, so we're going to right over here.
Okay, you can move. I think you can move the token. I mean, I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
check.
I'll
I gotta
move.
check something. Um, This is the Minhireth, right? The Lone Lands of Minhireth. Yep. Okay, so let me roll my d6. See who's up. 6 again. So it's Hunter again. Amy.
Hunting again.
Yep.
Pixies isn't going to get to roll at this rate.
He's
okay.
waiting for the fight.
Waiting for the fight. And does my
100%.
shadow does my shadow lore whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Does my shadow lore still apply?
Yeah, I think because you guys are in Darklands.
Okay.
It's fine.
Just
yep,
one success this time.
9. Oh, okay. So you guys move an extra 20 miles, you find a shortcut. And no fatigue. Or 1 fatigue, actually. So no 6s. 1 fatigue, but you find a shortcut. So you can move an extra 20 miles.
So on the character sheet, your fatigue goes to the right underneath the TN from heart. Pixies. Your 1 fatigue.
Okay, let me just check something. All right.
Under strength.
Should be. I was looking here. So in the middle, underneath heart, you'll see it says heart rating, TN, and then shadow and fatigue. So if you look to the left under strength, you'll see it says endure, current endurance, and then a box. That's where it goes. Except Gwennon doesn't take it. And we would have gotten all of our fatigue.
You got everything back, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't take it off of Myrtle. Myrtle was pretty tired.
So I'm at 26 now.
You should only have 1. Oh, no, don't touch your endurance. It goes in that little box underneath there. So your endurance is
That's right.
full. And then underneath that, so there's 3. So there's endurance, current endurance, and underneath there is a little diamond. Just
So
to the
current-
right of treasure. That's where your fatigue goes. It's not endurance, Carl. We didn't take a damage. This is
Yeah,
just
that's true.
fatigue.
Okay. All right. So that's a good shortcut. All right. All right. So we continue along here on the peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, another travel.
Yeah, I mean, Minhireth is pretty desolate.
Yep, yep. Nice. Nice.
Good job, Bernie.
Yep. Wow.
I guess basically just around the corner.
Okay.
To like here. Oh, no, I need to like here.
Yeah. So now you're entering Aaron Vorn, which is a once a great forest that came along here, but it got chopped up. So there are wood dwellers here.
So there could be tree folk, right?
Yeah, it says we're entering a dangerous place, says Enris. This is no longer the land of the coast of the fisher folk. It is now the land of the tree men.
So we never saw the fisher folk.
No, not yet. Or I mean, you're at the edge of it. So this whole peninsula is like Aaron Vorn. I gotta check something.
So So just out of
See if the tip.
curiosity,
Okay.
if we see the tree folk, then Gwennon wants to basically ask about the tree of sorrow, if they have cut that too.
All right, so we're on the scout. Who's the scout? Myrtle. We'll do for Myrtle.
What am I? Explore?
Yep. Dang.
She hasn't done
Oh.
anything yet. She doesn't have Spirit Spoken Mary Bird. Okay, none of hers would apply. But she got a great success.
Okay. All right. That's kind of what you.
Pixius, this is about the time that Carl starts saying that my dice are fixed, but that's not true. All right.
All right. So as you guys are kind of looking around, kind of like this and see if I can figure this out.
Can Myrtle see if there's any like little tree saplings or anything around? Because her being a hobbit, she'd be extremely interested in maybe seeing if there's a plant she doesn't know about just to take back with her. Or seeds or something.
Okay. You guys see a strange fellow wandering the shore alone.
Okay. Myrtle would walk up to her. She'd have her pipe out, offer him, to take a drag off of it.
You hear like a humming kind of surrounding him, and he kind of looks at you. You can't tell honestly, like you can't tell if he's so Myrtle's gonna approach this guy by herself apparently. She's gonna run out there. I don't understand how you're.
She's just walking along looking for seeds and stuff. If she saw him, she would walk over to him. I'm sure Gwennon's not that far from her.
All right.
We don't let her go off on her own.
Okay. So, yeah. All right. So you can't tell if he's Elven or something else. He's kind of tall, and you hear this like noise, like a hum surrounding him, and
Does he have like robes and stuff on? Does he look like an elf, or does he have clothes on like a man? Or
I guess he's. How would he? He probably has like a lot. He has like robes, but they have like a lot of. He has like shells, like bangles made of shells, and like a necklace made of shells. Can give me a scan roll.
Myrtle?
Yep, because she's closest.
Okay. She failed.
Yep. And I guess, Bruni, if you see this, you can give me like a lore roll. Or anyone can do lore, but Bruni is probably the best at this, right?
Yeah, I'll do my lore roll. Look at that.
Nice. All right, so you've heard of a strange man, and I guess when you call up Enris, she kind of corroborates this, but she says, "Oh," and you recognize this as perhaps the singer on the shore. He's a wandering elf of ancient age or a spirit, and he knows the shore better than any living man. Apparently, he can disappear at will. He's not supposed to leave any footprints. And he sings, even keeping the dark creatures of the ocean at bay.
Well, Myrtle would ask him what the name of his song is. It's very pretty. And she likes his shells.
He looks at you and goes, I do not see your kind here very often.
No, I'm
Oh, if
adventuring. I'm off on an adventure with
if at
really
all.
tall people. And we have a really tall elf in our group too. He kind of looks like you. And he's very wise and he has white hair, but he wears lots of white. He's over there. You should talk to him.
Just courtesy or persuade?
You want me to roll courtesy or persuade? Which one?
Either one, whatever's more advantageous for you.
Courtesy. Would any of my distinctive features, fair spoken or merry, apply?
Fair spoken?
Okay. Here you go. Boom.
I will meet this elf.
Oh,
Bring him.
Yes.
Bring him to me. I am loath to leave the shore, you see. For that is Aaron Vorn, an ancient, he points towards the woods, an ancient and dark wood. It is an angry wood, and I prefer to stay on the shore, for I can keep that at bay. I can keep the hungry ones at bay, but not.
Oh, if you're hungry, I have an extra apple.
No, they are hungry.
Oh, I don't have enough apples. I'll be right back. So she'll turn and tuck tail to go find Oradrith, but Gwennon will stop her halfway and make a motion to Oradrith to come on over to her. Because she's going to exhaust herself trying to run. She's so little.
All right. So the rest of you approach, or just Oradrith?
I assume that at least Bruni will go with Oradrith.
Okay.
Is Harry coming over?
No.
No?
We're going to stay back?
Yes, keeping a keen eye on things.
Okay. All right. You guys go down there.
Myrtle wants to tell Ordrith, I met a really tall guy that wears robes like yours, and he has shells, and he sings like you do. I told him all about you.
All right. So as you approach this singer on the shore, he kind of just waits. We hear a humming about him. You can't tell if he's humming or just a song that surrounds him. So he says, travelers, a strange company, not fisher folk.
No, we've come from many different groups of the free peoples, but we're here to see the fisher folk.
Because, I could help with that.
Well, we'd certainly appreciate it. The leadership.
If you are here not to harm them.
No, the Queen of Londare desires to open up negotiations, diplomacy with them, and work together to stop the shadow in this part of the world.
Because that is a good thing. I try to prevent the shadow from coming ashore.
At that, Gwennon would say, have you seen the black ships of the Numenorians assail?
I have not seen, but I have felt them.
I have seen the visions of them coming up. She'll tell him her entire vision that she had from the Seeing Stone. And say, I wish this not to come to pass.
Okay.
So I also would like to speak with the fisher folk to tell them what I have seen. Warn them.
All right. Well, he goes to the shore. He places his hands in the water. You can hear a song, calming song, kind of come up. Um, he says there is a band of wandering folk. He says to the northwest, hiding in the shelter of the cove where the river joins.
Here?
Yeah, about here, I guess.
Okay.
Because you are welcome.
Thank
And
you.
he starts wandering off.
Myrtle wants to run behind him as fast as she can and say, "Where are you going, friend? Where are you going?"
And eventually and then he doesn't say anything, and he just disappears.
She wants to turn to Oradreth and say, "That was very rude. I was just being nice, Oradreth. I don't know what I said that made him go away." She'll walk back over to where Sage is, her little pony.
Okay.
Gwennon wants to look at Oradreth and ask if the tale is correct that we've heard of him. How often does he show his face?
Who are you asking?
Oradreth?
I have no idea.
In my travels around Middle Earth, I've never seen him before. But I don't normally hang out at the coast. I go where the rangers tell me to go. Perhaps we should have asked him more information about the Black Numenorians. I guess I leave it all in Bernie's hands now to research that. And I'm assuming we'll meet back up with the rest of the party and walk over.
Yep. Okay. You gotta change some things. Wow.
Fixius, was there anything that you were doing with the horses while we were off talking to the elf?
Nope, just watching.
Okay. Did Myrtle by any chance find any seeds for her collection?
What would that be? Well, you got a great success on the Explorer, so yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Just not going to do anything with it yet, but
Okay. All right, so I guess we need another travel roll.
Yeah.
You gonna go in that direction that the
Yeah, where he said up over here-ish.
yeah, it's kind of to the northwest of us.
Success.
nice.
Yay.
All right, so it's gonna be a 3. So that's gonna be lookout.
Who does look out?
That
That's
is
Ordreth.
Ordreth.
all right. Oh, I gotta roll the event. Right. Well,
All right.
Ooh. Okay.
Oradreth has his special emerald bracelet and also has the distinctive feature keen-eyed.
Mm.
So I think that's 3 for looking out.
Oh,
Nice.
Did you get a? Oops.
Great success.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's really nice. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna do it since I rolled. All right.
I'm assuming we're over there now, right?
Yeah. I hear a commotion. I guess I gotta do this. Uh, gotta do this sort of how many people? There's 5 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Plus Brinthil and Sornet.
Okay. Can you pause it for a second? Amy?
Yeah, hold on. Unpaused.
All right. So I since you guys are in like Darklands, so when I roll the event,
Mm-hmm.
I roll 2 dice, take the lowest. So it's another Eye of Mordor. So I'm going to take advantage of that and do what I wanted to do, or find, trying to figure out how this encounter could occur. Plus, you got a cool encounter with seeing, in the last one, you found someone important. That was what that encounter was, or a person of note. I think that's what I got. So I rolled a 10 and a Gandalf, so I could take the 10. So anyway, that's to let listeners know. So Oradreth, as you're kind of scouting on ahead or looking out on ahead, you find a good high point that you've been looking for as you approach this cove. And in here, sort of in the middle of the bay, there, you see a great black ship.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, though, and maybe more of note, you see like a boat has hit the shore on the black ship, or has hit the shore, and you see a young child, who's fishing there. He kind of has dropped his fishing implements, his nets set up, whatever, and he's running into the woods while a group of soldiers, well, say it looks like sailors, and one particular brute of a man looking soldier hit the shore, and they're like little rowboat, and they look like they're going to give chase, to this kid.
Mm-hmm.
So there's about there's 8 of the sort of sailor soldiers, and then one of the one like leader type. So nine folk who are chasing this one kid. All right, and that's probably a good place to stop, because one of our companions has to leave, or a couple have to leave, and we'll start out with that sort of potential fight or rescue of the kid in the future.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you saw the black ship, so because I rolled an eye.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Well, thank you for running. Thanks for playing. Thanks for joining us, Fixius.
Yeah, thank you for
you.
joining us.
I'll talk to y'all later.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right.